welcome to another episode of Real Talk Atlanta. We are your favorite hosts, Tiesha Renee.
I'm Ashley LeRae.
River the Realtor.
And Neika W.
And as always, we're back with another one.
Another one.
Thank you. Another resourceful, useful episode for all of our listeners. But before we dive in, of course, we got to check in with the girls. We have had so much stuff going on, y'all. New listings.
Yes.
New business.
Beautiful.
Yes. Let's talk about it.
Oh my God. Real estate has been, like I said, it's always ups and downs. Last week, it was super chill. And then this week, it's been super busy, which I'm grateful for. Mm-hmm. But yes, my new listing in Atlanta is now live on the market.
Give them the details.
And address.
It is so nice.
It is 1331 Sharon Street.
Y'all, it's a beauty. It's a beauty. We went to her broker's open last night.
We had a time last night.
We had a time
yeah,
last
we
night.
did.
It was giving like real like Cali vibes.
Yes, it was.
Go check it out. If y'all want to buy it, call me.
Okay. By the time this episode goes live, though, that house is going to be gone.
It's
for sure.
If not, check and see. But
sold and closed.
It's going to be sold and closed.
But I loved it because someone there was like, oh my God, I love how you guys show up for each other and just come and support. I'm like, of course.
Of course we do.
And I pulled up with my Yeezys on. Y'all know I miss the beat. I was
River was acting bad.
Right.
Support my girls.
Period. And then we got
So
someone starting a new business
Oh my
venture. I know
gosh,
you're probably not ready to talk about it, but you got to talk about it.
Yeah.
Put it on blast.
And you need to do it, so let's talk about it.
I'm excited. I wasn't going to announce it yet, but it's going to be a new
It's needed.
venture.
We need the
Word.
services.
Yes. I
Teaser,
feel like
teaser.
everyone tells me like I have a like creative eye. I need to do something like another little side hustle. So yeah, I'm going to start something that I think everybody will love.
Tune in real
I love
soon.
it.
Wait
Yes.
until she posts on her page and utilize her services.
So excited.
Love that. Proud of y'all.
What about you, Rib D?
Rib D.
Selling all the houses in Atlanta? What's
Yeah.
going on?
Not leaving none for us.
That's what I do, ladies. October has been a really, really good month already.
We like 3 days in. It's been great.
It's only our third day out here.
This is, God willing, of course, it don't close till it closes, but this is going to be my best month in real estate. I have 7 closings on the book, and about 3 luxury leases, all over about $4,000 a month.
Period.
So it's really, really, really good month for me.
We're happy for you. This your year, sis.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I'm trying to recoup them funds from that house I bought. So I'm recouping and recovering, but I'm grateful, definitely grateful for the business.
I love it.
And you?
How are you settling into your new home?
I'm finally in. This was my first full week, like, because my lease ended. I tell you, when I went to my apartment to like give my keys, I was the episode of Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
I was in there
They
like,
cut the lights
oh
off.
my God. Because
So many
I've been there
memories.
since I moved to Atlanta. I'm just like, oh, it's in the area that it's in. I miss it.
Yeah.
Because y'all know I'm on the other side.
You're not too far though.
That commute.
I'm not too far, but it's like when you're just right there central and then you kind of move out, it's kind of like, dang,
Yeah.
I gotta
You get
go
used to
everywhere.
it.
Yeah.
But you're home.
I'm home now.
I got the pleasure to visit.
Okay.
And bother Tiesha.
Yeah, I'm still tight about that because when we coming over,
I
Come
just
on over.
popped
She just
up.
gave me a call. I'm there.
Okay, we'll come over.
But I'm finally settled and I'm happy. I'm hoping October's going to be October will be my best month as well for real estate. And I'm hoping the months after that are even better.
Yes.
I love to hear
so
it.
let's just go ahead and claim that.
Claim
Let's
it.
put good
juju
energy.
into the
For
But
us.
let's dive into it, y'all. Enough about us. Let's get into the topic at hand. One of my favorite topics. Everyone who knows me knows that I love new construction.
Yeah,
I
love
feel
it.
like new
Construction
construction
queen.
is the way. That is the way that people need to go. So let's talk about. We're going to give you guys the pros and cons when purchasing a new construction home. So let's first of all start with the best of the best.
Yes.
Why should someone purchase a new construction home? My first thing.
Oh, go ahead. No.
No, go ahead, because let's see. If we got
Yeah.
I know y'all do the same thing. It's
Which
one
one is
word, and it's one word only, and that word is equity.
Equity.
Okay. Instant.
Yes, instant equity, instant equity. When you purchase a new construction home, especially if you get in there in the early stages of that community being built. So if you see, like, I know when I drive around, I always see like, oh, coming soon, this community. If you see that, tell your realtor or call us.
Yes.
We'll let you know.
We are your
Yeah, we
I
are.
want to see
We
this
are your
community. I
residents.
want to get the ends on this community because the earlier you get in, by the time that last home is finished, you're going to have so much equity because as new construction sells homes, the price increase every home that they sell.
right?
I feel like
absolutely
I'd be
love that.
so excited to see the appraisal when it comes back.
Yeah.
New
Like,
construction
new
appraisal always
construction,
on point.
yeah, it's always
Well,
on
I don't know. I've
point.
heard horror stories, but I've never
I haven't
personally
experienced it.
haven't experienced like a low appraisal on a new
Appraisal,
construction
no,
house.
not at all. Most likely, it will. You're gonna see a little thing on top.
Yeah.
And that's even in the early stages, I tell everybody, when you think about being even a real estate investor, people automatically go fix and flip. And I tell people, if you don't have the time to maintain that, you need to go new construction as an investor. Because if you buy early, put a tenant in there in the meantime, when you circle back 12 to 18 months, now you get to reap the benefit of what we call a buy and hold. You buy the property, lease it out, hold it, and when it's time to sell, you'll see that equity. So when it comes to new construction, if you're looking for a bag, you found it.
You found it. I literally had someone buy a home in a new construction community. She bought the model home. You guys know the model home is the last one to sell. And then there was a house right up the street. That house had a basement. The model home didn't have a basement. But he was like, oh, that's an investor. They're about to list it as soon as this. They had bought that house for like maybe $80,000 less than what the last house was for. Plus you have a basement, which is going to add more value. You're about to make money.
Oh my God. I have chills.
Yeah, in a matter of a few months, that person is making money. So that's just like proof in the pudding of how much money you can make.
I always try to offer my clients like, hey, you have this option for new construction, like, because who doesn't want a brand new home that you don't have to do a lot of work to, or you can actually have say-so on about the flooring, the finishes, and things like that. Like, it's all, if you can do new construction, why not?
Yeah, if you have the time. Because of course, you know, the
it's
house
usually
has to
about
be
timing.
Built, so it's a waiting period. So if you have that time and that flexibility, it may not work for someone who needs to move in 30 days.
Yeah.
Unless it's a case where the house is finished. Another example. I just had a client last week, we secured a new construction that's going to be finished at the end of this month because someone's deal fell out.
And you know the good thing with that being that we're in Q4 right now.
Right.
So a lot of times with builders towards the end of the year, like right now, they're just trying to get rid of all their inventory.
Yeah, they have to by December.
Exactly.
Builder incentives.
Builder incentives. Another pro. They're giving them money.
You get a check. You get a check. Everybody.
I think along with the builder incentives, a lot of times it's not just, oh, we'll give you money towards your closing. Now they're like, if you work with our preferred lender, we can get you an interest rate at
They're getting a
creative. They're buying out your rate. They're giving you closing costs. They're paying for appraisals. They're giving you home warranties. You literally cannot go wrong with a new construction, especially if you are like a young homeowner. Like I always ease my first time homeowners that are younger into that new construction because all your systems are brand new. You don't necessarily have to worry about your HVAC just going out. And if you do, it's still under warranty with the builder. It's a lot less liability than resale because you know, with resale,
it's yours.
I mean, it's yours. You have to fix it. You have to maintain it.
But gamble.
That's a really good point, especially with the investors, because yes, you go ahead and put a tenant in there, and you still have those warranties. Let's say something happened, or you want to sell it in a few years, you can use that warranty to just go ahead and get the work done, and don't have to worry about it. So
it gives you that peace of mind for sure. If you don't want to come out of pocket for any expenses of what may happen after you move in, for sure.
And for those who don't know, warranties are just plans that cover, like, say your HVAC and your appliances. They usually cover just appliances only. If something goes out, you'll have to pay like a small fee, maybe like $125 or something for them to come out and just fix it and replace it, versus having to go get a new system, having to do all that extra stuff. That warranty will cover that. For those who don't know,
I have a new construction right now. The warranty is like for the appliances and everything. It's a 2-year warranty, and then structural is a 10-year warranty. So imagine, like, if you have any problem structural, it's really, really working in your advantage.
It's covered for 10 years.
That's great.
That's big. And you might not even, and my client not even planning on being there for a while. So it really,
and with the new one, that's probably not even something you have to worry about. You know, if you're, getting the inspections that you need before, but you probably wouldn't even have to worry about the structure unless like a natural disaster happened. And then like something happened with your roof.
And then I bet you wish you had
that. And home insurance. Then you need the insurance.
For sure.
For those structural damages, that's what the insurance comes in at. What's another thing that y'all think is a pro?
I want to go back to those incentives because the closing costs. I mean, who wouldn't want their closing costs to be paid? I'll say with going resale, of course you're able to negotiate, but it's not always guaranteed that the seller is going to give you that, right? So it's good that the builder offers that. And you know what's crazy? I had a client who's a nurse. I was telling you about it. The builder offered her an additional $2,000 in closing costs just because she was a nurse. So
what do they call those essential workers?
It's a hero program.
Hero
program through them. But one thing to keep in mind with those incentives, you have to go through the builder's preferred lender. So you know how the realtors, we have our preferred lenders, they may not be partners with that builder, and you have to go through their preferred lender to get those incentives. And that'll be like incentives from the builder and the lender together.
Right.
And
go ahead. Go ahead, River. You have.
No, I was just gonna say sometimes we're going through like the builder's lender. A lot of people want to know why sometimes, and I feel like if you get approved with the person that they've already partnered with, it's almost like a guarantee that you can close. That person knows what the builder is looking for. They know what the parameters are for you to be able to get the house. So sometimes it's even worth doing it because you get a little bit more peace of mind knowing like, okay, this is who the builder wants me to work with. Right. If he says I can get the house, they're gonna make it work.
Yeah. And what I was gonna add to that is just like, because other lenders know that the builder's lender does cover incentives, sometimes the private lenders do try to compete and give incentives on their own, because I know my preferred lender, if you guys are trying to do new construction, she gives out an incentive of $5,000 toward closing costs and $500 for appraisal to kind of compete with the builder's lender. So it's so funny because I'm like, all right, I have a client, she want to do new construction, we gotta compare, like, what you trying to get, you know, right. So it's having a knowledgeable realtor as well does play a part if you're doing the construction, because we have options here when it comes to those incentives. But another great, I feel like, pro to building a new construction is that it's less competitive.
Yes. And I want to circle back really quick with the whole lender situation, because of course they can use our preferred lenders, but of course when builders have their own contracts and they're in the builder's favor. So sometimes in the contracts, if you do use an outside lender, if there are any delays, you may have to pay for those delays. They may charge you a fee or something. So keep that in mind.
Or put down even money. More.
You can use your own lender, but earnest money is $20,000.
$20,000.
Wow.
You better pray that
the house is $20,000. Don't do that.
Yes.
No, that's true. That's true. So sometimes, going with the builder's lender is
right. And one more thing with those lenders. So right now, this isn't always, but right now it's the end of the year and builders and lenders are offering those incentives. Interest rates, preferred lenders can't usually compete with what the preferred lenders for the builders has. Like, for example, my buyer, they did like a 4-2-1 buy down where her first year she has a 2.75 interest rate. Wow. Her second year she has a 3.75 interest rate, and then years 3 through 30 or 4 through 30, something like that, is 4.75. That's
so great.
Yeah. Is it still a fixed rate?
That is the fixed rate. 2.75 the first year, 3.75, 4.75.
Do they still have inventory?
Right.
No.
And that's what a lot of different builders are doing now to compete. To compete with our preferred lenders, to compete with the resales, to make people come over here to these new construction. They are offering those great deals. So definitely keep that in mind, especially in this Q4 time frame toward the end of the year, to look into that, if
that's great, because a lot of private lenders right now, their interest rates are up to 7%.
They're extremely high, and honestly, there's really nothing they can do about it. It's up
that's
to the
market
buyer.
rate.
You have to use your money to buy that interest rate down, and that's not a small price to pay.
Yes,
it's going to be thousands of dollars to buy it down when new construction kind of are giving that to you. So, but that's not all builders. But contact me and I'll let you know which ones are doing it.
Yes, that's right. I wanted to go back to what Neika was saying though. It was two things, girl. Neika been like starting up over here, but she said something about your choice in your home to like finish and getting to say so. And I think that's really big, because on the resale side, what you see is what you get. With new construction, I think it's two kind of ways. I feel like in higher price points, they're still allowing you to come in and say, I want this color cabinet, I want this kind of granite or this kind of quartz, I want this flooring. You kind of get more of a say so as they're building it if you get in early. Some of the ones that are on a lower price point, they have preset packages, but they still have multiple ones. So it's like, do you want to do the white? Do you want to do the gray? Do you want to do espresso? That kind of thing. So it's pre-picked, but you still kind of get some room to like figure out what it is you like. And I think that being able to personalize your home makes the new construction just better for you.
Better. It's so fun.
Because a lot of people, when you're talking about like the pre-selected packages, a lot of people, when they think new construction, like, oh, I can go and I can pick everything. Yeah. Unfortunately, with the recent market and how materials were delayed, you couldn't get stuff on time, the smartest thing for builders was to do just to go ahead and pre-order everything so it could be in here in time for the house to be done. So
you do not want to wait 8 months.
They have kind of strayed away from you being able to pick every single thing. Like River says, you may have different packages that come in there, but it just also depends on when you get in with that house. Like, if you're at the beginning, sure, but if you're just getting in because someone's contract fell out, you kind of have to just go with what finishes they have already selected.
Right. And it's still a better option.
They're not nice. It's still a better option. Nice. They still have your granite and all that good stuff.
Look, some of them, they're throwing that quartz in.
Okay. The price is right. You get quartz.
And appliances. The same thing with the appliances. Yeah. They're able to. I think the only appliance that I'm always seeing recommend that they like get your own is that refrigerator.
The refrigerator and washer dryer.
They are on back order typically, but even with that, like they'll do the appliance package, stainless steel. Just kind of make sure that everything in the house works for you. So that kind of ties into your other point. I know you were talking about the competition. Like,
first come, first serve. You just gotta get on a wait list. What other things they do? You just contact them if the lots is open right now. The market is, there's inventory.
Right now it's open, but when it was busy, they would do like highest and best as far as earnest money. So while the price of new construction doesn't change, how much you're willing to put in earnest money is what they're looking at. And usually the person who's willing to put the highest amount will get the lot. But now it's dialed down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, look, during spicy hot tamale season, they were doing highest and best on the purchase price. Like I had a builder say highest and best. Like even though the house may be listed for $450, if you have a client, just the same way we do it with resale. My client likes this house enough to pay up to $475 and do the appraisal gap. They were really like, come get it while it's hot because it's not going to be a
Ryan's dungeon.
Luckily, I didn't have no construction.
That's why I'm glad we are in a different place.
Okay, they're calling me.
They're like,
emails. Have you guys been seeing these emails?
The emails are going crazy. Broker bonus.
Bonus, that's
they're
my
like,
favorite.
bring your clients.
Of course.
I'm like, where were you a few months ago?
No, seriously. When we were outside fishing for houses.
Right.
So, the competitiveness for buyers, it depends on the market that we're in.
Yes.
Right now, it's kind of slowed down. But every builder is different because I've seen even auctions. They were auctioning off the lots, whoever had the highest price.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
My mom was looking at a home. Actually, she's kind of ready to settle down, and she wants a ranch. She's older now. So we went and looked at some new construction.
Yeah, don't do mama like that.
She is. She we're out of the house.
Though, I get it.
Yeah, she just wanted something smaller. Yeah, so my mom wanted to downsize. We went and looked at a really big builder here, and the homes are maybe $500,000 for the ranches, and the lot prices they were auctioning off for $40,000, starting at $40,000.
So just buy the lot
for just to secure the lot.
Interesting. Did you have to pay that all cash up front? Oh,
my mom's like, hell no.
Seriously, and I'm right with you, Mom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
That's
but I think it's not really like that anymore now that the market's died down. I don't really see that.
It's better. I love it. I
love it
here.
Like you said, they gotta get rid of all this inventory by December. So if you thinking about new construction, this is the time.
This is the time. Give us a call. But while
I remember early on, we were having I don't remember what episode this was, but we were talking about it. And we were like, they tell us about this market where buyers can get what they want. We've never seen it.
I've never heard about it.
Heard it.
Oh, we're here.
We're here.
We are finally here. I'm going to drop the little loop of that clip so y'all can see that.
And I love it here. I
do. I never want to leave.
I never want to leave.
For real.
But no, just as resale, while there are pros for having a resale home and cons, there's cons for new construction.
Absolutely.
And let's start with the new construction contract. And how new construction contracts, they have their own builder's contract, which Ashley mentioned are in favor of the builder. They're not your standard Georgia GAR forms or whatever state GAR forms that you have. Realtors, you have to read these contracts. They're extremely long. They're probably like 40 pages. But you have to read every single line and ensure that your clients are protected because they love to slip and slide stuff in there.
Yeah.
And you
get you a highlighter. That's what I do.
Yes.
Give me a highlighter. I'm going through every line because there are some things in there. I remember I was reading, my new construction, they were like, after closing, if my buyer doesn't close, every day after it delays is like $150 every day, things like that, and it's like real small
if he
and
used
stuff.
an outside lender.
Exactly.
And imagine getting a 5-month delay.
Yeah.
At $150 a day.
Ooh.
You might as well file bankruptcy because that's ridiculous. That's too much.
Yeah.
I think they really do set it up where it's like they want you to work with their people, and I do understand that, right? You want to make sure this close, it's overhead on the builder, but it's also like as realtors, you have to do your due diligence because I think the one thing that got us, especially during COVID, was that verbiage. Basically, the builder reserves the right to increase the price based on the market.
Let's talk about it.
Right.
Oh, I hate that.
That was one of those things where during COVID, right, we have delays with shipping because things are coming from all over the place. We have delays with materials. And so because of that, the prices were jacked up. We went through inflation. That means that your house that was listed for $450 when, prices was normal is now going to cost them $50,000 extra. That also means your house is now $500,000 and there's nothing you can do about it. And so a lot of people miss that, and a lot of people are in a position where it's like, dang, I can't afford this no more. more.
Right.
This is not within my pre-approval, and realtors were not reading those contracts. So understanding your rights based on that contract and in terms of what you have with the builder, that's like a real big thing with new construction.
Yeah, and imagine the heartbreak with that. It's just like sitting and waiting 7 months for your home,
right,
or 9 months for your home to be ready, just for you to find out like, dang, I really can't afford this anymore. And with them increasing the prices, with you, your mortgage increases.
Yeah.
So that was really like sad.
I had a client who was like,
see.
"Don't finish it. I can just take it as is."
Oh no.
I felt bad, but I was also like,
we can't be that
No, you
desperate.
can't do that. You might as well finish it.
I could do a DI. What?
That's insane. Okay.
I love that. I love
No,
that.
she wanted that house though, and it really
There's
does.
a certificate, and don't you get a certificate of occupancy?
Yeah, that wasn't gonna give it.
Yeah,
to you.
no permit was being given out.
No.
And before COVID, I think a lot of builders weren't even putting that stipulation in the contracts. And there were people, they would see that and be like, oh my gosh, they would back out of the contract. They'd been in the contract for 6 months and they saw the price went up, wanted to terminate. And then builders were stuck, with the house. So they did that. We have to remember it is a business for them. So they just did that to protect themselves. And that kind of brings me into another point, because a lot of clients or buyers, because new constructions are more open, you can just walk in, talk to the agent there, the on-site agent, and just sign a contract. But you have to remember, if you're looking to work with an agent, to not just go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly.
Because they are working for the on-site agent that sits in that model home.
Hello.
It's
works
not for you.
the builder.
Right.
They do not care about what goes on the buyer side. If anything happens with your financing or anything, they're probably not even going to tell you the deadlines tomorrow. You to let me know if you meet this financial contingency. That's the only contingency that you get in a new construction contract. They're just going to...
Yeah, you're going to be blindsided.
I'm going to say, in that default, their earnest money, they're going to get paid.
Exactly.
So they don't care whether you stay or whether you go.
I feel like that's the biggest misconception about new buyers that think that new construction, they don't need representation.
Yeah.
And no, you really, really do need representation, because one of my clients that's under contract right now, he was going to go ahead and do everything. He was like, let me just call Neika and see if she wants to hop on this contract. I'm like, definitely, absolutely.
Shout out to him.
Because he right, and he doesn't know that, those inspections and things like that, and the things that I was informing him about the process, he was just shocked. He was like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, you need a realtor.
Yeah.
Especially with this
Construction
contract.
model home is so beautiful that when you walk in there, you be like, yep, this is it. And it's like, come on.
That is not how your house is
Don't be
gonna
too
look.
fancy.
You upgrade to, because they have the model home upgraded to the
model
T.
home.
Yes.
Right? It costs some money, honey. Your house is not gonna look like that.
It's not. So you definitely need
That's
to
a
tap
good
in with a
point.
realtor. Representation is real.
Yes.
Okay.
And for the first-time home buyers who may not even understand, like, as a buyer, you should work with the buyer's agent, and then whatever house you're looking to buy is represented by the seller's agent, or in this case, the builder. So their main duty is to the seller. You need someone who can represent your best interest as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But another con I want to talk about is those delays. I feel like that's my biggest pet peeve.
Say that.
I kind of get mentally prepared to see it coming.
But then I feel like that's another thing in the contract, because in the contract, in builder's contract, it says that the builder has 2 years to finish this house. Every builder contract that I have read, they have that 2 year. So like, you go into contract in April, they be like, oh yeah, we're gonna close by December. Okay, great. If they have delays, there's at no fault to them.
Yeah.
There's no fault to them. They have 2 years to finish your house. After 2 years, maybe you got some fault. But if it takes 2 years at this point, what kind of house is it?
Yeah.
Right.
What is the house? So you have to keep that in mind, that there are delays. I think the longest delay I have seen personally, my client went under contract in like April 2021. We didn't close till like June 2022. It was supposed to be closed in October, then December, then February. It was a mess.
Which
but
is
there
why-
was nothing. It was out of our control.
Yeah, at
What
that
can
point,
you
what
do?
do you do with the interest rate? Did you lock it? Like, did you have to pay to extend
cannot
that?
You can't lock an
Not
interest
for-
rate that early.
Yeah,
that's
not
a
that long.
time.
That's a lot of money.
Luckily, the lender worked with her, and she still got a great deal at that point, because her purpose for purchasing a home was because interest rates were so great at that point. So of course she was getting pissed, because now the market's slowing down, interest rates are increasing. But luckily, one of my preferred lenders, because she did use the outside lender, she didn't use a preferred lender, worked it out for her.
That's great.
Worked it out for her,
Yeah.
because it's not her fault.
Which is why builders, if you notice, they do not put that closing date on the contract or in writing because they're trying to protect themselves. They
send that little amendment at the end. Oh, the closing date is going to be this day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had the new construction I closed on this week. My client paid his earnest money back in February. We were supposed to close in July. It is October, and I know he was not feeling me, but I'm glad you said, because you said a word that I want to emphasize, and that word is fault.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody sitting at this table, if your new construction delays, guess whose fault it was not?
Right.
Because what I tell everybody is that if nobody else wants you to close on your house, we do.
Okay.
So I think one thing is like with delays, it's almost like anything. I know y'all have ordered packages. I know y'all ordered off of Pretty Little Things, and that stuff took 2 and 3 extra weeks. It just comes with demand, time, and where it's coming from. But I do want to emphasize this for all realtors, clients. It is not our fault. And sometimes I have clients who
get the heat
calling me like, and it's like,
man, I'm not on the roof. I'm not making the house.
But if I could get on the roof, I would.
I
So I think patience, and Tiesha mentioned this earlier, but it's like, if you know you are in a rush, do not go to new construction route. It could work in your favor, but it also could not. And don't put yourself in that.
Right. There's something else to keep in mind with new constructions and having delays is with the weather, depending on where you live, right? And here in Georgia, I mean, our weather isn't too crazy, but builders, they're not able to get out there and work on the home if there's extreme snow or rain or hurricane, whatever. So keep that in mind. That's a big delay as well.
Every day,
It do. That is true.
They go through phases. It'll like rain for a week.
It's definitely bipolar.
Yeah, and I think like another just major con is probably like the biggest thing is like with new construction, what it is what it is.
Yeah.
There's not really like we gonna come in 20,000 under asking and negotiate with the builder.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
They're not really trying to negotiate with the
price. The price is the price.
Right. Today's price is today's price. Like, and it's just gonna be that. So I do think you lose your ability to kind of negotiate certain things, but you kind of win in the sense of like you gonna get everything brand new, and you know, as they said, it's gonna be built. So
and you know it's at the value of what you're purchasing.
Right. You may be able to negotiate closing costs, but I think that's it with
only
new
if you use
construction.
preferred lender.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely not the purchase
them,
price.
Then
you can negotiate the floor plan, because I had a client, he had this random corner in his floor plan, and he has this dresser. Yo, that whole thing almost terminated the whole deal. About a corner. So he wanted to know if the builder could take out that corner. I'm like, yo, it's structural.
Keep that in mind. Yeah, new constructions, it's not a customized home, right? You're able to personalize it with the features and the specs, but you cannot.
It's not.
You cannot take this wall out, right?
Exactly.
Something I want to ask you guys really quick, as far as like upgrades and stuff. Do you guys typically tell your clients like if some things can wait, some finishes, because of course they say with buy or builders, some upgrades are a little bit more expensive.
Oh yeah, like light fixtures and stuff.
Or
they are
finishing a
really
basement.
expensive if you do it through the builder, but that's something you can fix and change afterwards. That's not going to
Right.
Like little fixtures like the faucet and all that stuff. Those things are pricey. Like the
Accessories.
ceiling fan, all that is really, really pricey when you buy through the builder.
Right.
But if you just move in the house and go to Home Depot or something afterward, it'll be cheaper.
I
With
agree.
accessories, I tell them you can wait. So like that's what you were saying, like the accessories. But if it's actual finishes, because we had one builder that was like, "Do you want granite or quartz?" She's like, "I'll just do the granite and I'll get the quartz later." I'm like, "Baby, you're gonna pay for it twice. Get the quartz now.
That type of
It'll
stuff,
be bundled
get it
into
now.
the loan. It's not like you got to do it extra." So I think like with actual finishes, get what you want right then and there. With those accessories, girl, let them put them little plastic.
Yeah.
Right. Do that.
Cabinet things when you
we'll
get
do
in
that when
there,
you get
it'll be
there.
less expensive. You will be okay.
And then basements too, I wanted to touch on. I feel like with the basement, if you're looking to have it unfinished, that's fine. Because I think with most general contractors, it may be a little cheaper than going to the builder to do
The
it.
basement is literally
Builders don't even
nothing.
finish basements.
Yeah,
they
they
don't
don't.
finish basements. If you get new construction has a basement, you're going to finish it.
Yeah.
They just put
It's a
the
little
basement
cheaper
there,
for sure.
and you have to finish it.
I hope you guys are listening.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes, but I think that wraps up the pros and cons of what new construction can look like. We're going to leave y'all off on one last pro tip that a lot of people don't do because they're like, it's new, what can be wrong with it? But please, please, please get your inspection.
Please.
Do not
There
skip
are
that.
2 inspections. You need to get your pre-drywall before they go in and put that drywall in so that the inspector can check wiring, electrical, all that stuff to make sure everything's in place. And then you want to do your inspection prior to closing to make sure all finishes and everything are good to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Houses were man-made. Simple as that.
Anybody can make a mistake. Anybody can make a mistake.
I've seen many horror stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If a man made it.
Yeah. I've seen many horror stories throughout the drywall thing. You have gum in between the walls.
Bottles of soda.
The builders, the people that are working there, you know, they're eating at the side.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. You have
Now
Cheeto
you got
bags
McDonald's behind the wall.
Right.
Yes.
You wonder where the roach is coming from. That's where.
Right.
I never thought about that. It built into the home. It came with the home.
Yeah, so you don't even know, but if you get that pre-drywall, you'll know.
Yeah. A lot of people think just because the home is new, like, what could be wrong? I don't need an inspection. You definitely do.
Yeah, and it's not anything that's ever like super alarming. It might be just like little things. It's not like your roof is going to be falling off, of course, because it's new. But any small thing, you want to make sure the house is in top tier.
You want the best
condition,
product.
Of course.
Yeah, you paying for new.
And like you
Get
said,
new.
people make mistakes.
I love it, ladies.
I love it. Well, y'all know what time it is in this episode with our question of the day.
That real
Bay, Ashley Lorraine.
It's growing on her, y'all.
It is.
I'm starting to like it a little bit more. So if this is your first time tuning into us, we have this segment called The Question of the Day, where we take questions from you guys via Instagram. Follow us at Real Talk Atlanta or via email at realtalkatl@gmail.com. So for today's question, one of our listeners asked, they wanted to get to know us a little bit more personal.
Here y'all go.
Right.
Keep it
But of
cute.
course, they kept it cute. So they wanted to know what is one misconception that people think about us?
About us?
Yes, individually.
Oh.
That's what I would assume. He didn't clarify.
I feel like for me, I'm an extrovert. So like people think like I just love going outside, but I'm an extrovert, but I'm kind of like an introvert too. Like I like to go outside, but I'm not gonna be there too long. I'm ready to go home.
She has the curfew every time.
Every time I have to go home. So like I'm an extrovert. I love to have when I'm out, I'm having a good time. But when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go.
You ready to go?
And I'm going.
I would say a misconception about me. A lot of people, if you don't know me, a lot of people always like, I thought you would be so girly. And I'm just not. Like, I'm not a girl's girl. Like, anybody who knows me will tell you, like, no. I think I just started wearing lip gloss, like, last year. And it was because my friends never have CarMax, and I never have a purse. So I had to start wearing lip gloss. Like, I'm just not a girl's girl. Like, I like to be cute, but then I like to, you know, I'm wearing gym shoes. I wear, like, Jordans and gym shoes, and I like to be watching sports and stuff like that.
She's a sneakerhead for sure.
Yeah, I'm just not, but I'll throw a blouse on to sell a house.
That is true.
So I would say that's probably like the biggest misconception about me.
That is true. You took me to my first football game.
There you go.
For me, misconception, I think I'm a very bubbly person. I play a lot. I do.
We know.
Seriously.
So when I get serious, people are kind of like shocked, or like when I'm like focused, or you know I'm handling business, it's kind of like shock people because they don't expect it, but business get done. So it's not always fun playtime all the time. I sometimes have to shy
There's
away.
a time and a place.
Yeah, there's a time and a place, right?
Period.
So I don't
Strictly
play all the
financial.
time. You know, there's a time and place for that.
We
Yeah.
We can
Right.
keep it,
Yeah.
but it's
After
not
the
playtime
business
all
is
the
done.
time. Yeah.
But what's that song? Playtime over is the big league.
Period.
That's funny. A misconception about me, I mean, it's not really technically all the way false, but that I'm like shy. Y'all probably don't think I'm shy.
Look at my face.
It's because the camera's like
You're
right in my
reserved.
face.
You're
Yeah,
reserved.
like I'm more soft spoken, a little bit more reserved, but like when you get to know me, I'm definitely look at you.
Ashley is soft spoken as if she has a soft voice. Ashley gonna read you like a book.
Okay, I should do it on the low.
Yeah.
You be laughing. You can be like, "What you laughing at?"
I
What you
joke
just
all
said?
day.
It's because Ashley just read you like a book. Read you
Okay.
for filth, and you don't even know
laugh
it.
at her
She'll be
head.
like,
All right. That's true.
those are good though, because I can see that all day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully that like let y'all know a little bit more about us.
I
Yeah,
hope
we got
so.
personal today.
Pretty soon.
Yeah.
Well, as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in each and every week on Wednesday. If you haven't done so already, make sure you download, like, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram at Real Talk Atlanta.
Yes.
And follow our personal pages as well. Everything will be in the show notes.
Yes.
We love
Thank
you guys.
you.
The love has been
Bye.
real.
It has, right?
Tune in next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.